whether it's Sacramento trying to move on from the 4 pick or the Blazers trying to move on from the 7 pick. I don't know that either would necessarily get the Pistons in position to get a top 3 pick, but if you can get the 4, you can get the 7, that's still something that I'm interested in doing because I want to see the Pistons have multiple swings at it. There's no guarantee the 5th pick is going to be better than whoever they take at 7, so give them 2 shots at it. And the real, I guess, question is where do you meet in the middle, right? Because I think every Piston fan would be fine with just giving up Jeremy Grant and getting up a top 10 pick. But if you're the Kings or you're the Blazers or you're maybe another team that hasn't even been mentioned yet, is Jeremy Grant enough for you to give up that pick? And then for the Pistons, now what else can you throw in on top of it? It's probably not going to include Sadiq Bey in anything. Probably not even going to include Isaiah Stewart in anything, honestly. And then if you're just going to move up to 4, is 5 plus Jeremy Grant worth getting only 4 back? And it really depends on who's going to be there. I think any of these trades that you're going to see, specifically like a trade for 4, I think you'd have to wait until draft day to see kind of how the board falls. If the Rockets at 3 end up, say they pass on Banchero or whatever one of the big 3 is left, and they end up taking Jaden Ivey or Shaden Sharp or whoever at 3, and then you have one of those top 3 guys at 4, that's where I think the Pistons become a player in that conversation, because everything else, it just seems too far on one end. Like a team definitely wouldn't do that deal. But wouldn't do that deal. Like that, I think Jeremy Grant is not enough to get the 4th pick back. And I think Jeremy Grant and number 5 is too much just to go up to number 4 if the top 3 guys that we all expect are going to go are going to go. So it's really wait and see for a really number 4 pick. Number 7, you can probably get a deal done a little bit earlier because you know one of those guys aren't going to end up falling to 7. And then, can Portland, I guess, throw anything in extra to sweeten the pot? Well, they have to. I would trade Jeremy straight up for 7. But is that something that the Blazers would want to do? Would they want some extra sweetener from the Pistons or something? So I think that's the most interesting part of these teams, and at least from the Pistons' perspective, can they get another top 10 pick? Can they kind of maneuver around? Is really, I think there's just like a gap in value between the fan bases, the Pistons fan base, and then name the fan base on the other side on what they think kind of is fair comp for their pick.
So when I saw Oklahoma City was one of these teams that was looking to trade their pick, I got excited because I was like, hold on, they got the 2 pick. So, and I'm reading like, no, they want to trade the 12th pick. But it got me thinking, is there a way we can change that to the 2 pick? So if they offer Jeremy Grant and the number 5 pick to Oklahoma City, who already has the 12th pick, maybe we can get the 2 pick out of there. Now they have 5 and 12, and we're back inside the top 3 where we basically have the player of our choosing outside of probably Chet, who's probably going number 1. But everybody else is still available on the board, and now we're not stuck with missing out on the top 3 who have been the namesake guys for this draft the last 3 months.
Yeah, but if you're Oklahoma City, what do you want with Jeremy Grant? You know what I mean? Like if you're going to trade the number 2 pick, you're probably going to. What do you mean? What do I mean?
What you mean?
Oh, they want Jeremy Grant
and the number 5 pick. You getting a
stud
small forward?
What good does that do?
Forward, whatever position he ends up playing.
What good does that do you?
What do you mean? He's sick. He can give you 25 points a game.
He's never once in his life has he scored 25 points a game, and it's certainly not going to happen in Oklahoma City. When you still have to get guys like Josh Giddey and Shai Gilgeous the ball. So I just don't think the Thunder would do that. And if you're a Pistons fan, I'm sure you're like, oh, of course the Thunder would do that. So I just think there's a massive gulf in value. I don't see any reason the Thunder would want to do that, though. If the Thunder were going to move on from number 2, they'd probably swing for somebody bigger, right? Whether, maybe even literally bigger. If Zion decides that he's done with New Orleans, and then the Thunder come here offering the number 2 pick, and now, Zion or whoever else, sign and trade with Ayton, although number 2 pick you probably value a little bit more than DeAndre Ayton at this point. And we'll just have to see. I think there's a whole offseason of craziness that can be had. And if the Thunder were looking to trade the 2 pick, then I think there's a lot bigger names they can grab than Jeremy Grant.
Man on a mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on a